Good evening and welcome to News 20 at 5. I'm Ashley Flete.
And I'm Damon Arnold. Let's get this show on the road, starting with...
Breaking news for us this evening. Charlie Murphy, Eddie Murphy's older brother, has died at the age of 57. Charlie Murphy lost his battle with leukemia this morning in a New York City hospital. Murphy had been undergoing chemotherapy. This comes as a shock to his family, who were under the impression that he was getting better. Charlie was known for his co-star on Chappelle's Show and co-wrote some of Eddie Murphy's movies like Norbit and Vampire in Brooklyn. His wife, Tisha Taylor Murphy, died in 2009 from cervical cancer. They had 2 children, one being from a previous relationship. We send our deepest condolences to his family.
The Florida State University Police Department made an arrest in connection to a sexual battery that occurred on April 8th. Officials say Cody Alexander Lovelace was arrested on 5 felony counts of sexual battery, 1 count of burglary with person assaulted, 1 count of misdemeanor battery, as well as 1 misdemeanor count of petty theft. According to authorities, the survivor was able to identify Lovelace to the police. Warrants for the suspect's arrest were granted and executed yesterday. Lovelace was booked into Leon County Jail and is being held without bail. Authorities say Lovelace has no affiliation with FSU Police. FSU Police Department is asking anyone with any information to give them a call at 850-644-1234.
Study abroad is a time of great discovery. Young college students experience the world and begin to form the networks that will enhance their prospects in the world's marketplace and their potential as global problem solvers and leaders. Let's take a look. Lights, camera, action. It's Hollywood. At least that was the theme for this year's Camp Adventures Dessert Fest. Camp Adventure is a program that offers students the opportunity to study abroad in places like China, Japan, and Italy.
Italy was one of my top choices. I'm excited to go abroad and to meet all the kids that are there. I'm scheduled for day camp, which is above CDC, so about middle school age, and I'm super excited to work with them because I love working with children.
Now behind me is a stage for the graduating camp counselors who are getting ready to move on to the next part of the program. The next part is stepping out into the real world and helping those kids who have family members in the service. I have my VIP pass. Stay tuned. Now, Camp Adventure isn't your typical study abroad program. The students who partake in this program will spend almost 2 months overseas, from taking care of babies to teens and even teaching kids how to swim, all while traveling the world and earning 12 credit hours. FAMU is the only historically Black university teaming up with this program to bring the desired diversity to the kids. Stephanie Benoit, the student coordinator, tells us about her experience with Camp Adventure.
Well, I've been to Bahrain in the Middle East. I've been to Hawaii. I've been to Japan. I've been to Italy, and then I'm going to Spain. And words can't describe my experience because it was just amazing, and it changed my view of the world, my perception of how different people live, and it just has made me into a different person.
If studying abroad is something you're interested in, make sure to visit www.campadventure.com.
Medical marijuana is becoming a big topic in the city of Tallahassee. 2 Tallahassee entrepreneurs plan on converting an empty jet engine parts factory into a cannabis cultivation center that will grow top-of-the-line strain. Huxley Medical Group consists of Derek Hart and his longtime partner, Costa Vithis. There is also a third partner who was not named with 20 years of experience in the medical marijuana cultivation business. Hart and Vithis anticipate the legislature will open the door to more medical marijuana companies this session. And now we have Angelicia Bruton in the studio to tell us about Rocky Hanna's Spring School Tour. Angelicia?
Thanks, Damon. For the month of April, Superintendent Rocky Hanna is doing a Spring School Tour. For the entire month, Superintendent Hanna is visiting all 39 Leon County schools in efforts to learn more about the students and what programs the schools have to offer. Today, Hanna visited Kate Sullivan Elementary School and the Elizabeth Cobb Middle School Cubs. He was greeted by their principals who took them through their daily routines. Well, that's all the news I have for you today. Tomorrow you can catch Hanna touring 2 more schools. I'm Angelicia Bruton, Damon and Ashley. Back to you all at the desk.
Thanks, Angelicia. Sean Sander joins us now live at the Know Your Status panel. What's going on, Sean?
Thanks, Ashley. I'm live in Lee Hall right now. As you can see behind me, the Know Your Status event is just getting started. The event is moderated by Nina Parker, and it features guest Jacquees. It has the son of Snoop Dogg and UCLA football player Cordell Brodus, and Janelle Pierce, an advocate of HIV and AIDS awareness. Now, this event is actually a larger event under the Spectrum and the Student Health Services event, which is Pride Week. I took place in some of those events that happened on Monday and Tuesday, so let's take a look at some of those.
Condoms. Safe sex. Just one of the messages Spectrum and Student Health Services are trying to promote during the annual Pride Week. The event features a week's worth of events, and at the kickoff, questions about questions, members of the LGBTQA community talked about common questions they are asked or that others fear to ask. Marissa Holloman, president of Spectrum, shares her concerns.
I don't feel like my clothes make me. Whether I want to wear a dress or a suit, I am still Marissa. So I feel like we need to learn to let that go. But I just feel like we stuck in the 70s in this world. We still talking about blue is for boys and pink is for girls. And until we get out of that mindset, the LGBTQA community is going to always have issues.
Pride Week events continue with late-night testing that included the incentive of backstage passes to the Know Your Status panel tonight.
Now, after the panel, there will be a live showcase featuring Jacquees, Kent Jones, and Ari Lennox. Those are the people that came to the late night testing event that took place yesterday, received free wristbands to get VIP access to the meet and greet after. I will be there gathering footage for y'all that will air on Friday. Again, if you didn't get invited to the VIP access, everyone leaves with a box that has some pretty cool trinkets inside. Again, Sean Sanders live in Lee Hall. We'll be back after the break.
Buenas tardes y gracias por estar con nosotros hoy. Good evening and welcome to a special edition of News 20 at 5. I'm Ashley Flete.
And I'm Damon Arnold.
Let's get straight to it. Tallahassee Mayor Andrew Gillum has officially announced he's running for governor of Florida in 2018. Gillum made the announcement to supporters in a conference call on Tuesday before announcing his candidacy on Twitter Wednesday morning. Gillum also presented a 6-minute video called Andrew Gillum, Bring It Home. It's rumored Gillum was interested in running for a higher office. At 23, he was the youngest person ever elected to Tallahassee City Commission. Gillum is a graduate of Florida A&M University.
Loved ones will gather this Saturday for the funeral of the 16-year-old Godby High School student, Malcolm Siblings. The Godby High School sophomore and basketball team member was killed in a rollover car crash in Gaston County on Friday morning. When students received the tragic news, it impacted the entire school, resulting in his teammates honoring him that very night in their regional final game. Siblings' funeral will be held at 1 p.m. at the Tabernacle Church of Christ, written in heaven.
It's said that hard work never goes unnoticed, and this is true for one of Florida A&M's journalism professor. Kenneth Jones has been teaching for 21 years, serving his students as a parent figure on campus as well as a mentor. Jones' latest piece of work outside of the classroom is a film which brings attention to dementia and Alzheimer's disease. Jones was also the announcer for FAMU football for 30 years. He continues to be a pillar in the Tallahassee community. The streets may be safer after a long night of partying. Florida Representative Cord Bride introduced a new House bill that expands the use of ignition interlocks for anyone who is convicted of drunk driving. If passed, the vehicle will only start if the driver is sober. In order for a person to drive their vehicle, they must blow into a breathalyzer to start the engine. Other states across the country already expanded the use of ignition interlocks, while organizations such as Mothers Against Drunk Driving plan to have a lobbying day once the session begins, to push state officials to turn the bill into a new law.
With yesterday ending Black History Month, FAMU closed it the right way with a showcase featuring a very prominent African-American dance troupe. Our own Sean Sanders has more.
Step Africa brings the beats of the motherland to stages and auditoriums across the world. From Tanzania to Washington, D.C., South Carolina to Samoa,
Montana to Madagascar, and now they are bringing their talents to FAMU's Lee Hall. In an entertaining and interactive performance, Step Africa captivates audiences with dance styles like the African gumboot dance, and one of the most amazing African dance styles created in the 20th century, step. Luther Wells, the chair of the Artist in Bloom Festival, in which the event was a part of, shares his thoughts on the purpose of the event.
Well, I feel exhilarated. I think that's one of the things that a performance like this does. It's a feel good. You walk away feeling good, and you walk away feeling proud about what we as a people can do and accomplish.
And the audience cheered on. But in the hearts of some of the Step Africa steppers, performing in front of this Tallahassee audience was nothing short of a reunion.
This audience was amazing, and it was great for myself and Jarrell, the striker, to be kind of home and performing for, the FAMU community. It was like a dream come true.
Now on this very stage, Step Africa came and they not only kept us entertained, they did it for the culture, but they also educated us as well. The audience was left breathless, and that was all they could ask for. In Tallahassee, Sean Sanders, News 20.
What a fantastic way to end Black History Month. Be sure to check out Step Africa on social media by following the group on Instagram at Step Africa, spelling Africa A-F-R-I-K-A.
Welcome back. I'm Shay Simon with your sports. Starting with a quick update, 2 weeks ago, after a 6-3 season, Big Bend Leon High School began their search for a new head coach after Tim Coakley resigned. Tuesday, the Lions found their new football coach, Garrett Jan, and he is very familiar to the red and white. In 2016, Jan, who played for Leon from 96 to 99, was inducted into the Lions Football Hall of Fame. Previously, Jan was the head coach at Childs High School for 3 years and carried the Lions on a trip to the postseason 2 years ago. A search will begin Wednesday at Childs to find Jan's replacement. And on the court, it was a tough battle from the beginning as the Rattlers fought to keep a lead on the Hornets. Stanley Dancy has more.
Florida A&M Rattlers battled the Delaware State Hornets Monday night in men's hoops. The Rattlers were at home and looked to get it going early on in the first half. Derek Dandridge for the Rattlers contributed 16 points and 6 rebounds for the night. The Rattlers battled, and while they were able to push the game into overtime, Delaware State shot 53% for the night. Their shooting was too much for the Rattler defense to handle as they fell 80-77 in a close game. Rattlers guard Marcus Barroom had 3 threes and contributed 11 points and 4 rebounds. He has carried the Rattler offense for much of the season as of late. Stanley Danzy with all your news and basketball coverage. News 20 at 5.
Meanwhile, the Florida A&M women's basketball team are on a roll with their 5th consecutive win of the season. The ladies took a win against Howard University 55-51 this past Saturday, continuing their winning streak. And Monday, they put the cherry on top, stepping over the Delaware State Hornets 69-61. Winning a Super Bowl is special. Winning your 5th is extra special. Before the Patriots quarterback Tom Brady, it was even more special because his mother was there. She has been undergoing chemotherapy and radiation treatment through the 2016 football season, and here's what he had to say.
I went through last night, way harder than what our team went through last night, and my dad's been there every step of the way. So they set such a great example for me, and
what do I say?
All families go through challenging times personally, but she has a lot of support and a lot of love, and I was just happy last night to be able to celebrate with her. And she hadn't been to a game all year, so what a hell of a game for her to be at. And it was really great. It was great to celebrate. My sisters were there, my wife, I had all my kids, my little girl was there, and so it'll be nice to go home and spend some time with them. They haven't had their dad around very much lately. So it'll be nice to, go home and be a dad for a little bit.
And that's all for your sports. I'm Shay Simon. Back to you all at the